He, has a lot of opinions about childless women like myself or divorced people like yourself. Do you think, my point
at
is
least
here.
it was said in a friendly manner.
My point is...
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about President Donald Trump speaking before the National Association of Black Journalists NABJ convention on today, which is Wednesday, July 31st, 2024. Now, this was a Q&A from three journalists, three black women, including our very own Harris Faulkner from Fox. And it was kind of a dumpster fire, but I think Trump did well, in my humble opinion. Some think that it was really bad and he got destroyed. Some think that he destroyed them. I think that he did well, and I'll explain that in just one moment. First things first, a couple of things. Kamala Harris was supposed to be here. I'll say that one more time. Kamala Harris was supposed to be here. Now, I don't know if she was going to be on the stage with Trump, if there were going to be some kind of debating going on, but she was invited. She was supposed to be there and she declined. So let me get this straight. You're blackity black, pro-black, Democrat, black woman, black female, girl power, presidential candidate could not show up to be questioned by three professional black journalists, but instead you were in Atlanta last night with the booty shakers and the rappers. So booty shakers and rappers more important than professional black people in a place asking for your attendance as they do every year. Very interesting. But Trump, the so-called white supremacist, the racist, the mad guy, the bad guy, he showed up. He showed up to a hostile environment and did so perfectly, in my humble opinion. Now, before we get to some clips, they were late. They were late. You see this right here, this caption says almost an hour in, full house, no Trump yet, NABJ 24. Now, I watched this entire thing live. It was supposed to start at 1 p.m. Eastern time. That got moved to 1:15. And by the time they actually started, it was almost 2:30. And since Trump does not have that much time, they had to end early. So it wound up being like 35 minutes of a total event, which was really terrible. And NABJ, you got to tighten up. Now, before I go any further into it, let's get to the actual clips. And of course, I'll link to everything in the box. If you're on IG, link in bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But here's the first one. This is the introduction. This is what, in my humble opinion, set the tone for the rest of the actual event.
Mr. President, we so appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country.
So, yeah, that was a good introduction, in my humble opinion, because he didn't back down. See, when you're in environments like this specifically, they're going to test you to see what you're going to do, how you're going to react. Are you soft? Are you strong? And I think that was strong. He didn't react with a bunch of screaming and hollering. He was level-headed and just expressed himself in a very clear way. So I thought he did well on that. Okay, it was a hostile question. He knows it's in a hostile environment. You're hearing the audience jeering and whatnot, like it's the Apollo Theater. You see what's going on, but he handled himself pretty well. Now we got quite a few more to get into. Let me see. Oh, he's talking about the equipment and being late. Let's watch this part.
First of all, it's very hard to hear you for whatever reason because of the fact that they have bad equipment, because I guess, this woman was unable to get the right equipment. But it's very hard for me to hear you, but I can hear every other word. It's very difficult, actually. But first of all...
Yeah, the equipment was kind of messed up. So you see Harris Faulkner in the pink at the very end of the stage. When she would ask him a question, or even a lady right there in the black, when they would ask him a question, he couldn't really hear because the microphones are not amplifying the sound loud enough in this place. We can hear it because the sound is being transmitted to the video that we see. But when you're in the actual building, you get this space with a lot of people talking and just random sounds, and the distance between them, I can't really hear you too far away, and there's too much going on. Okay, it's not like being in a living room or something like that where you're able to hear somebody speaking. Okay, so NABJ, that's why they were late for 35 minutes, according to them, because they had audio problems and they couldn't get it right. All right, now let's keep on going.
Sonia Massey, someone from Illinois, an unarmed black woman, was shot the other day in her home by a deputy sheriff. The deputy has since been charged with murder. You've said police would get immunity from prosecution if you win. Why should someone like that officer have immunity?
Now let's pause right here. I don't think that she's saying the right thing, and y'all please correct me if I'm wrong. I think she's referring to qualified immunity. That does not reference prosecution. That's about civil cases. So if an officer has qualified immunity, they themselves cannot get sued unless you can prove that they violated somebody's constitutional rights. We ain't talking about criminal cases. If the officer assaulted somebody or took their life and they shouldn't have done it, and they were able to prove that this was negligent, now you're going to be Derek Chauvin. Now you're going to be the guy who took Sonia Massey's life. You're going to be going to prison. That's how that works. Qualified immunity does not protect you from that. The officer in this case could have had qualified immunity, but he still would have got locked up at the end of the day. Let's keep on going.
In your opinion?
Immunity?
Immunity.
I don't know the exact case, but I saw something, and it didn't look...
Now, people are gasping in the audience because they've all seen it because they tied into all the black stuff, but Trump has not seen, or he may not know all the details. He saw the case, but he doesn't know all the details. You'll see.
It didn't look good to me. It didn't look good to me. Are you talking with the water, right?
Yeah, well, police unions are not backing this person either.
Okay.
But again,
are they going to be charging the officer? I guess they're charging the officer.
So why should he receive immunity?
Well, he might not. I mean, it depends. It depends on what happens. I'm talking.
See, they don't, like, a lot of us in the community don't know what immunity means. We think immunity means what the definition of it could be, or in the phrase of diplomatic immunity, where sometimes you can go to somebody's country and delete somebody and get away with it. But that's not what this is at all. We're talking about civil, not criminal. And sometimes you still can't get sued in the civil way. And I got to add one last piece before we move on. Even if an officer has qualified immunity, the city can get sued. Okay, they can get sued. The officer might not get sued, but the city can. You see how that works? Even under qualified immunity. Now let's keep on going.
I didn't notice ABC doing any publicity on it, George.
We covered you extensively, sir. I'd love to move over on to different topics.
I didn't notice you do any publicity on it at all. I won the case, the biggest case. This is an attack on a political opponent.
Now, I think this is a continuation of the whole qualified immunity, whatever, because they are asking him about his criticism of the system prosecuting him. But again, they don't understand what qualified immunity is.
I have another one where
sir,
I have a hostile judge.
We have you for a limited time, sir. I'd love to move on to different topics.
Excuse you, you're the one that held me up for 35 minutes, just so you understand.
I mean, you're not lying. It's like, look, why are you trying to rush me? Y'all were late. Why are you trying to rush me? Okay, you better be glad that I'm here. How about that? Your friend Kamala is not here. So, like, let's stop doing that. All right, let's keep on rocking here.
And
J.D. Vance?
I'm going to get my J.D. Vance question in. To your point and to Rachel's point, he, has a lot of opinions about childless women like myself or divorced people like yourself. Do you think, my point is here.
But at least it was said in a friendly manner.
My point is, Do you think the Republican Party is getting a little bit too judgy about people's lives when you think about abortion or when you think about what J.D. Vance is saying?
I don't think, look, I think that the Democrat Party is really the one that has the problem. I think they're radical on abortion because they're allowing abortion in the 9th month. They're allowing the death.
But I think it's
they're
about
allowing
freedom,
the death
right?
of.
Now, let's pause for a minute. A lot of people in the community think that Roe v. Wade being repealed means that abortion will become illegal. That's not how that works. Roe v. Wade made it to where the federal government could set limitations or lack thereof on abortion. Now that Roe v. Wade is gone, it's up to each individual state. So the people of the state will have the power to decide what they want to do. That's how that works.
Of a baby after the baby is born, based on
that
governor
is
of
illegal
Virginia.
in every state in the country.
Based on the governor of Virginia,
Executing a
they're
baby
allowing
in
the
every
death
state
of
in
the
the country
baby
is illegal.
after it's born.
It's a
They're
crime.
allowing abortions in the 8th and 9th month.
Now, he spoke about the governor of Virginia. Now, what he said here is correct. And I got a video. This is from when? I want to say 2019. Now, I'm from Virginia. I was living there when Ralph Northam, who we're going to speak about right now, was a lieutenant governor. Right when I left, he became governor in 2018. Okay, so I know about this man very well.
Virginia's governor says he has no regrets on his comments earlier this week defending abortion, even as a baby is being born. In a news conference yesterday, Ralph Northam said Democrats believe legislatures, most of whom are men, should not be making decisions about women's choices for their reproductive health.
The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mothers.
Now, Senator Sass.
So, I mean, the news report is right there. I'll link to the whole report so you're not just thinking I'm cutting stuff out and not giving you the full context. So what he was saying was correct, and he cited his source.
And there is this question of, in this moment where we are, why come here? What is your message today?
My message is to stop people from invading our country that are taking, frankly, a lot of problems with it. But one of the big problems, and a lot of the journalists in this room I know and I have great respect for, a lot of the journalists in this room are black. I will tell you that coming from the border are millions and millions of people that happen to be taking black jobs. You had the best.
Now, you hear the reaction of the crowd because this is a big thing on social media. When he first said the whole black jobs comment, what is a black job? I don't know what that is. You had these real soft dudes older than me talking about, oh, I have a black job. I'm a surgeon. I have a black job. I'm a doctor. Stupid stuff, right? Because they ignore the masses of us in the community. They ignore the masses of us in the hood, grinding, going hard every day. That's the masses of us. The masses of us are not your doctor, your lawyer, your Bill Cosby's. When I was a kid, I did not like the Bill Cosby show because I thought it was unrealistic. Family Matters, Carl Winslow, Steve Urkel, unrealistic. I'm in the hood. I don't see that kind of activity going on. You see what I'm saying? So my point is, a lot of us have these low industry jobs, truck driving, mechanics, dealing with waste disposal. And these jobs may not necessarily be low paid. It's just low industry. We ain't talking about some highfalutin fancy job. Hardworking Americans, black Americans are being displaced by these migrants who come in and undercut all of us, regardless of what color you are, but especially the community. Again, the whole thing was only about 35 minutes. So if you got a little bit of a lunch break or a coffee break, go ahead and watch that. It should have been a lot longer than that, but they couldn't get it together with the microphones and whatnot. So they were a half hour late when they were already an hour late. But as I close, I want to say this. Trump, you did well to go there. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Kamala, where are you at? At the beginning, they're talking about we're trying to get Kamala for some other kind of thing. Why didn't you get her right now? You invited her. Why couldn't you get her? Oh, that's right. I forgot what I said at the beginning. It was more important for her to be with the booty shakers and the rappers rather than respected black journalists out there in Chicago, Illinois. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on the NABJ interview of Donald Trump? Was it good, bad, dumpster fire? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think Trump did a very good job. He answered the questions well. And the most important thing was he kept his frame. He didn't allow them to get him frazzled. He still was himself. He wasn't trying to put on a black scent like Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, Barack Obama. He wasn't trying to do that. He was just being himself and keeping it all the way real as he has been, which is why he has so much support from many in the community, although many of them may not be in that room where he was at NABJ. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.